The Christmas carols is beginning to get sound, and I hear a lot of stations play the Christmas carol. So reminder that we are gradually drawing to the Christmas season. Remember at the end of it all that Christ is the reason for the season. Christ has always been and will always be the reason for the celebration. I'd like to say good morning to all of you. Thanks for joining us. No time to waste. Welcome to the OK Morning Rush this morning. It's on a Tuesday, 18th of November. No matter what, the Christmas carols are all over the place. Today's Tuesday. Good to go. Thanks to Marka Davis, who was here yesterday in my place. He's always here along with Fatou Kamara at some point, to fill in the gap. Thanks to Marka, thanks to Fatou, thanks to all of you. Well, I'd like to say good morning. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, wherever the occasion is. But there's some who are also mourning the deaths of their relatives, their friends, and their family people. Our deepest sympathy to you. Too many things to talk about this morning. My name is Piso. This is OK FM 99.5. Remember, always remember, the beauty of life is not whether you are happy, but how others can be happy because of you. And Andrew Peters would say, you know my age? They murder me. I said they murder me. If it were not for the sake of our other parties in Clarence, look, that guy's real intention was to damage me. I've written the U.S. Embassy. You're talking about gross human rights violation. And human rights violation is an abuse of power. The vice president, you're talking about human rights violation. You know my age? We'll be right back. We're taking a break. Join our sponsors. When we come back here, we talk about some of the things. We can't talk about all the things. Today, Simeon Freeman takes the show. I'm told there's going to be a press conference at his home. We will do a relay from around 8:15, 8:30, straight to 10 o'clock. After some time, we'll come back here. Around now something. We'll still be around here. So gauge your views about some of the things he will say at that press conference. And so that is the shape of the show this morning. Remember, like I said, I would have brought somebody, but Julius has been doing a great job. Julius has brought in Deputy Minister Anthony Myers, and he brought in Benedict Koluba. So I will leave that one now. But Thursday, I'm going to organize a panel discussion on the budget. I will ask the Ministry of Finance people to second somebody, and then I will ask the CDC, and then I will find a member of the Safer Society. So it's going to be 3 persons on Thursday. One from the CDC, because it is the biggest opposition political party. One from the Ministry of Finance, and at least somebody from Safer Society. It could be Eddie Jawolo. It could be Anderson Miaman, or one of these guys. But I'm taking a break, man. Let's come back. We talk more.
My people, your hello.
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
Tapla, why is the news today again?
Well, the news is that the AFL is getting ready to recruit qualified and interested Liberians to join the army early 2026.
Che, thank God, oh, we have been waiting so long for this time, oh, Tapla. Let me call my children Krubo and Wimanga, yeah?
But wait, oh, the AFL is not just taking anybody, oh.
Ah, why you me again?
Chebo, the recruitment process is free, yeah? No money business. You have to be a Liberian citizen from 18 to 35 years, be a high school graduate or college student, and must have your WAEC certificate. The AFL people say, no WAEC certificate, no joining AFL, yeah? You must be physically and mentally fit. It means be well and strong, yeah? You must not get bad human rights record, criminal record, or other bad behaviors. The AFL people say they will check for all I want to.
So, Tapla, all the things you talk, that all?
No. To prove your citizenship, the AFL people say you must bring your national ID card, voters registration card, Liberian passport, birth certificate, or certificate of naturalization. That one there. That the people who were not Liberian citizens, but they say they won't be citizens for Liberia, they get the document from the court. 2 passport size photos, white background, health certificate from any recognized health center. But it has to be within the last 3 months of your application, yeah? Any other relevant document you get, AFL people say bring a vocational certificate or diploma. Can't we?
Wow. Then it means my children Krubo and Wimanga are qualified, yeah? But where will these children go to apply now?
Chebo, the recruitment exercise will take place in 4 regions. The central region, that Monserrado, Crane-Bassa, and Magibi counties. The recruitment center will be located in Monrovia, Monserrado County. Then the western region, Crane-Cape Mount, Bomi, and Bapolu County. The recruitment center will be in Tottenberg, Bomi County. Northern region, the Lofa, Bong, and Nimba counties. The recruitment center will be in Banga, Bong County. Then in the southeastern region, there are Grand Jide, River G, Maryland, Grand Cru, River Cess, and Sino counties, yeah? Because the counties plenty over there, we will have 2 recruitment centers. One in Zedru, Grand Jide County, and the other one will be in Harper, Maryland County.
But Taplao, you are my friend and brother, and you are a big man in the AFL. So I will recommend my children to you so you can help them enter the AFL.
Whoa, Chebo, I want too big. AFL people say no recommendation, yeah? In fact, AFL people say you must be careful with any AFL soldier or civilian who tell you, say, give me money so I can help you to join the AFL. That one there, pa, that lie. AFL people say, whether you AFL big man or small man, if you recommend anyone, they will sack you from the AFL and disqualify that person, yeah? The high command of the AFL assures the public that the recruitment process will be strictly based on merit, yeah?
A message from the Armed Forces of Liberia.
We are brave. We are passionate.
Hey, Tanu, I need cash and there is no ATM around here.
Really? Did you try the EcoBank POS?
POS? I said I need cash. What is it about POS?
Judy, you can get your cash through the POS. All you need to do is to visit any EcoBank Express point or petrol trade gas station and request to use the POS. Guess what? It can also take other bank cards.
Oh, widow, you mean cards from banks overseas too?
Yes, it should just be your Visa card.
Wow, great. So when there is no ATM around me, I'll just use the POS to get my money fast. EcoBank has made it too easy, man. EcoBank and innovation that real 5 and 6 so.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Tatu, where you dey go? Where you dey find?
Why they ask me that kind of question? Say where I dey go? Where I dey go? I dey come. I dey come. You don't hit my car.
You Menju, why you walking and talking all by yourself so?
My sister, that my car business are really thinking about so to get car in this country is really not easy. Since I put in for my cars and other goods, it is almost 1 year I can't get anything.
But it says stranger who always asks don't miss their way. Haven't you heard about urban used cars and auto parts?
You mean urban used cars and auto parts?
Yes, urban used cars and auto parts is 100% Liberian owned business. With urban used cars and auto parts, you can purchase your new cars, used cars, and all cars parts directly from America for an affordable price. Urban used cars and auto parts can also help you ship your parrots, your boxes, containers, and other goods from your relatives abroad within just 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow, this is a good news. Where can I find urban used cars and auto parts?
If you are in Liberia, Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts is located Fish Market, Tottenham Boulevard, Monrovia, Liberia. And in the USA, 220 10th Street, Brookhaven, Pennsylvania, 19015, United States of America. You can also visit their Facebook page, Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts International, or call cell number +231 887 012218.
Thank you for this information. I am visiting Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts to begin the process of my card and other goods.
Urban Used Cars and Auto Parts. Our goal is to allow Liberians have access to buying things from America without being cheated.
Liberia, it's time for a new journey, a journey of power, performance, and reliability. CCAR Motors has rebranded. Welcome to the all-new CFA Mobility Liberia, your trusted provider of world-class vehicles, motorcycles, and trucks. With Toyota, experience, strength, innovation, and adventure like never before. Built for Liberia's toughest roads. You need power and performance? Mitsubishi delivers toughness, efficiency, and performance for every job. And for those who move fast and ride with style, Yamaha Motorcycle provides unbeatable speed, durability, and comfort. At CFA Mobility Liberia, we don't just sell vehicles, we provide expert servicing, genuine parts, and lifetime support to keep you moving. Visit us today and experience the new CFAO Mobility Liberia. Same trusted quality, brand new experience.
Welcome back to the OK Morning Rush 99.5 from right here in our studio. Let's go on our page, OKFM 99.5 and OK TV, and recognize some of the people who've joined us. Alhaji Fofana says, good morning, Jackson. I'm watching from Istanbul community in Central Matali. Cassius T. Joe from Cock City, joining Coleman Senior, Joe B. Ja, Leo Bestman, Stobatus, M. Yunt Jr., Piso, Trale, and all of you who've joined us. We'd like to say good morning to all of you. Thanks for always joining us. I'm told there are 9 presidential candidates in the Guinean election scheduled for sometime in December, and there is a lone female. The military man, General Mamadi, the guy who said he would not have gotten involved, is one of the candidates clear to run. Okay, good morning to all of you. Let's go to the BBC. Let's get some of the things that have taken place elsewhere in Africa other than Liberia. Armed men have killed a teacher and abducted at least 25 students in an attack on a girls' secondary school in northwestern Nigeria, police say. The gang invaded the government girls' comprehensive secondary school in Maga Kabi State at around 4 local time on Monday, they said. The attackers engaged the police personnel on duty in a gun duel before scaling the perimeter fence and seizing the students from their hostel. A statement said. In Tanzania, let's go. A crowd runs in panic along a dusty street. Shoes ring out. A woman wearing a purple jacket carrying a stick falls to the ground. This one looks like something else. Let's go to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Rescuers are searching for survivors after a bridge collapse at a cobalt mine in the Democratic Republic of Congo, killing at least 32 people. Unauthorized miners forced their way into the Softin Kalando mine on Saturday, despite being banned from the site, said local officials Roy Kabunu Mayambi. That's it. From the DRC, we come back to Liberia. So let's go to the Executive Mansion website. Let's see whether the president, president has taken any decision, or let's see what's new here. This was a tribute from President Boakai to Miss Elizabeth Miata Geneva Armstrong, delivered on the president's behalf by Dr. Al Hassan Conte, our country's ambassador to the United States of America. This one is 2 days ago. So the president has finally dismissed or relieved of his post, seen as dismissed, Charles Brown as the director, as the Labor Inspector General of Liberia. His dismissal follows several social media videos of him attempting to force a Chinese man into a pickup. And at one point, he is on the phone having a conversation with somebody who people say is an NSA agent. I don't know how true that, but those 2 videos have been making rounds. And when the first video, you remember the one Charles in the black suit, like a sweat suit, something like that, with a Chinese man. I asked him, and I was concerned about the video, and he said, Clarence, this video was done several months ago. Several months ago. I don't know why my critics are using the video now to look like it just occurred. That's why he told me. But he's gone now. His former Labor Inspector General, the president has named John Kongba. John Kongba. He's called Uncle JK by a lot of people. The president has named him as the new Labor Inspector General of Liberia. Congratulations to you. And by the time they dismiss Charles Brown, I see a lot of people reminding Charles Brown. He used to be the guy one of those who sing the famous George Weah Go kind of song, and he would raise the choir, he would direct the choir at the Capitol building. He was spokesperson of the Liberian Senate Starvers and all these kinds of things. Well, that is it about the government job. That is it. Sometimes that's how it is. So that's it for action of the president. The president also made some appointments. Joseph Boy Cooper will now leave the LRRC. He goes to Henson KwaZulu's National Bureau of Construction as the deputy there. I'm understanding that he will be taking over tomorrow officially. I hope calm will be restored to that National Bureau of Construction. Henson KwaZulu and Joseph Boy Cooper, all of us, our eyes are going to be on you people. You need to prove us wrong. You need to be a different administration at the NBC, so that too much complaint and crisis will not come from over there again, as it has always been over the past time. So this morning, firstly, I want to talk about the situation at Red Light. I know Julius hosted Imam Ali Kurai. I'm told he would be on Pram FM with Kelvin Demin this morning. A lot of things happening over there. And some of these things, we're not supposed to be quiet with it. We must talk about it. First thing is, the situation at Red Light was not government of Liberia versus anybody. Nope. But before I go there, I just wanted to say the situation about land conflict in the country is very sensitive. All of us should be careful with the way we go about it, but we should respect the rule of law. So the situation to red light was not the government of Liberia versus anybody. I hate to say it like this, but that is the honest truth. It was two Liberian citizens, I'm sure, who sued each other. And the court ruled in favor of one of them. And the court instructed the sheriff, backed by the LMP, to effect an evasion order. But before then, I just heard from Imam Ali Krai that there were a lot of behind-the-scenes discussions. So some Muslims, so the fact that the both of them were Muslims or are Muslims, and the place we're talking about on the land there is a mosque, it was a sensitive matter. Very sensitive matter. Place of worship is nothing to joke with. And I'm sure it was because of that Imam Ali Krai and others decided to get involved. So Imam Krai said there were a lot of negotiations. In fact, the first day the invasion order was to be carried out, according to him, people resisted and the judge wasn't happy. And then they went back to negotiate. According to him, they negotiated with both sides, and everybody agreed that the invasion should take place. But it was also agreed that the invasion, according to Ali Krai, the invasion, he was saying he's close to the party that won the case. He would have talked to them to ensure that the mosque did not get affected. But both parties agreed that the invasion should take place. If both parties agree that the invasion should take place, I see no reason why people resisted the invasion. The invasion should go ahead smoothly because both parties met in the midst of some of their elders and they agreed that the invasion should take place. There was no need to do what they did. Firstly, there was no need, like I said, to resist the invasion, to challenge the police, to challenge the court officers, to resist. That resistance of the court order was unfortunate. They should not have done that because they did not take them by surprise. Both parties were informed. So they should have informed their people that, look, we have agreed, but we also agreed that the mosque will not get affected, but the person will take over his or her property. All of us going through one way or the other these kinds of things. The best way to do sometimes when you know the person is to negotiate. And except for other reasons, but I'm not sure if you have developed a place, you have your house, you have other places, somebody will just want to take machine and boss it. Maybe if the negotiation failed, but it's always good to negotiate. So to resist the police and the court's eviction was out of order. Equally so, what was not also correct was mob action in the presence of the police. At that point, it seemed to me as though the police dropped the ball. We can talk about the resistance on the other hand, but like all of us have always said, the police is the last resort to those kinds of things. To see people being maltreated the way they were treated in the midst of the police, to the extent that even some of them who were in the custody of the police, custody in a sense, I'm talking about some of them who were already being handled by the police, people ran them out from the police and started to do what they did to them. It was not also correct. To end this thing, I just want to say, let's be careful with the way we turn conflict to religious issues. If somebody from a particular tribe falls into trouble, comes into conflict with the law, let's not make it look like, oh, they are against the Mandingo people, or they are against the Lawman people, or they are against we the Muslims, or they are against the Christians. Let's be careful with the way we handle these things. Because if we ain't theta, everybody will draw their line. And this is very dangerous. Let's be careful with the way we turn everything into a religious conflict. Or because we smartly do that, because we know by the time we did that, sympathy will come about. Yeah, sympathy will come about. We can't be turning everything into religious conflict in the country. By the time you tell somebody, they say, oh, the person make it look like the whole religion you're going for. What are Christian or Muslim? I'm talking to all of us. We should stop. When a Mandingo man does something, he's a Liberian, he will be treated because of what he did. We shouldn't make it look like they're coming after all the Muslim people in the country. When a Kwele man, a Bassa man, whoever does something as a Liberian, the law will treat him the way it's supposed to. Let's refrain from making it look like, oh, they're against the other tribal people. That's very, and you know, people sensitively can do that because of sentiment. They want it to look like, oh, people after us, so we got to fight back. It's a dangerous thing to do. Very, very, very dangerous thing to do. If we continue to behave like that, we may wake up here one morning, there are evidence of instances where those kinds of things have taken the country to a level where if care wasn't taken, it would have been bad. We need to stop it. Congress for Democratic Change, Office of the National Chairman, I can't pass this one, temporary national headquarters, Plonko, blah, blah, blah. The Coalition for Democratic Change calls on the Speaker of the House of Representatives, all members of the legislature, and the Liberian people to act decisively in defense of fiscal prudence and economic stability. After vigorous review of the draft 2026 national budget, we conclude, that a proposed 1.211 billion envelope is excessively ambiguous, built on speculative revenues and non-recurring windfalls, and expose Liberia to serious fiscal and implementation risk. We therefore demand that the budget be returned to the President of Liberia for immediate revision, anchored on confirmed core revenues and credible financial assumptions, key fundings and analysis. Fragile resource envelope, excluding US $200 million contingent revenue from ArcelorMittal Liberia structure bonus and asset recovery. The estimated core domestic is US $940 million. This represents an addition of US $135 million to the 2025 domestic revenue of US $804. Even though this is ambiguous, given the anticipated underperformance of the fiscal year 2025 non-tax revenue by US $6 million, US $146 million versus US $140 million estimated collection. However, the US $940 million projection could still be achieved through smart and aggressive tax administration strategies. The fragility and risk to full collection of the entire draft 2026 is mainly anticipated in the contingent revenue, inclusive of the ArcelorMittal $200 million signature bonus. Significant risks to execution of public sector investment plan. Execution of the US $281 million in PSIP projection largely depends on the realization of US $200 million from the ArcelorMittal signature bonus. Under the circumstances, uncertainty remains very high to receive funding from ArcelorMittal Liberia, thus rendering the entire 2026 PSIP as just colorful projects waiting to fill in execution. Secondly, most of the projected PSIPs are not projected in terms of designs, procurement, and other executional modalities. So submitting a budget that hastily allocates a one-time payment of over US $200 million to unreal projects and programs is arrogance to achieving value for money for both current and future generations. Now, this is long. When we get it, guys, here Tuesday, we're going to all. Let me read 3. Alarming and growing wage bill without incremental benefits to civil servants. Although the draft fiscal 2026 wage bill is US 329 million, the true wage cost is estimated at US 352 million when over US 26 million in a new wage line called other compensation is added. The aggregate US 352 million wage amount represents about 37.8% of the core domestic revenue, excluding contingent revenue and external resources. This increase to the wage bill is not only excessive, but is significantly troubling, since it does not reflect increases in the salary of the civil servants, especially those civil servants who are undeservingly earning the lowest of their standardized pay amount, especially nurses, midwives, teachers, security personnel, for whom over US 5 million allocation was made in the draft 2024 budget by the CDC administration before exiting power. In the interest of public transparency and accountability, the executive needs to disaggregate the US 26 million other compensation to show the beneficiary by professional positions and by spending agency. Instead of hiding this under goods and services, it is important to reclassify it under the compensation category to reflect the actual wage bill of the government, to be monitored by the government and the IMF under the current ECF program. Pursue debt servicing with transparency and accountability. The budget processes a US 230 million total debt service, inclusive of a new US 55 million interest line and increases in domestic liabilities. This amount represents an additional US 70 million to the fiscal 2025 debt service allocation, sourcing this additional 20 million from the incremental US 125 million to core domestic revenue, as was done under the previous government, is laudable and shows Liberia's respect for maintaining its integrity in the domestic and international financial markets. However, we urge that all debts, interests, and charges contained in the US 230 million projection are consistent with the General Auditing Commission's domestic debt audit. What does this mean for Liberians? If contingent and other components of core revenues are not realized as expected, the government will face May-year shortfalls, resulting in stalled implementation of PSRP projects and programs. Roads, energy expansion, hospital rehabilitation, and teacher training programs will all be at risk, forcing compulsory emergency recasts. This will further undermine donor confidence ultimately reversing Liberia's fragile gains in fiscal credibility and reform momentum. Avoiding all these will require prudent exercise of conservatism and accuracy in revenue projections and restricting contingency revenue to adapting in-year supplementary when contingent revenue and excessive revenue generation are achieved. Okay, we'll leave it here. Like I said, Thursday when we bring it, folks, maybe we'll go there line by line and read some of the issues. And since we're talking about this ArcelorMittal $200 million that seem to be so important to this budget process, I just wanted to talk a little bit because I know the, what is it, the HPS or the Avanco due is before the legislature. As we follow all these things, we want to urge the legislature to go about those things with caution. We want the legislature to go about those things with caution. Look for best practice. I don't know as far as the idea is concerned as to whether Liberia has heard from Guinea, as to whether the government of Guinea, because my understanding is that Liberia wanted some information from the government of Guinea. I don't know whether those information were passed on to the government of Liberia, to get the government prepared to engage the process. I was reading a communication. I'm trying to track it, but I can't get it. Sino County Representative Alex Noah, that he named. I think he wrote the House of Representatives. He was concerned about some of the things about the whole deal thing. So we will endeavor to have him on the radio to see as to what is the content of the communication. I mean, pretending not to have seen it, so that he tell us exactly what are those things he's talking about and what motivated his whole communication to the House of Representatives on that matter. Now, Emmanuel Gonkwe, the head of the Economic Freedom Fighters, wrote something on Facebook, and I will call him very shortly. I want to know what led to the way he's writing now. But I will read this announcement. The Paulers and Monga families, in collaboration with the St. Samuel Baptist Church, invites you to a soul-inspiring memorial song service and fundraising program in loving memory of their daughter, Ada Faith Brown, on Sunday, November 23rd at 10 a.m. in the edifice of the St. Samuel Baptist Church, Horton Avenue, Capitol Back Pass. Come and be inspired by the great tabernacle choir of the St. Samuel Baptist Church, the wonderful voices of the Memorial SDA Choir, the sweet voices of St. Samuel Baptist Children's Choir, a magnificent performance by the distinguished contemporary gospel minister Paul Hiding, and a great exhortation by Reverend S. Rufus Reeves with the theme, God is Still God. The Paulers and Monga families kindly request all friends, schoolmates, and associates of Ada Faith Brown and friends of their relatives to grace the occasion. Please come prepared to raise funds for the Ada Faith Foundation Gospel Music Foundation, established to support underprivileged children and the elderly to keep her memory and the passion alive. Yeah, Timothy Paulus is a strong man. Very strong man, mentally strong. Imagine Paulus who come to my office and we are having a conversation about this Sunday program. As a matter of fact, the program is intended to raise money. His daughter was interested in children, in sinking ministry. I think they want to do something in your honor. But Paulus will come to my office and we're talking about this program, and he pulls out a video where his late daughter is seen singing a lead in one of the songs in the church. I literally broke down, but I didn't want him to notice. Since he didn't break down, I didn't want him to notice that I broke down. But it was emotional. Very emotional. Paulus, you're strong, big brother. You got to always be strong, you know. So they want all of the friends, and I'm told Dixon Sibo is very good at acapella. I didn't know Dixon Sibo can sing until Timothy Paulus was telling me his story. Go there to St. Simon Baptist and see Dixon Sibo singing. They say Dixon is a very good choir star. I didn't know that. It was Timothy Paulus who told me that. I was shocked, you know. But let's go there, you know. If you can go there Sunday, go there and support them. Now, let's move on. Something is happening. It's nothing bad. I have been noticing something, right? You know, the miners, the mining engineers and the geologists, the mining engineers and the geologists. I don't think anybody in the country understands mining sector more than the mining engineers and the geologists. Why do I say so? They are the people who study these things, so they understand it. I see a wave of honoring programs, and I see a wave of honors being bestowed on the dismissed Minister of Mines and Energy, Wilmot Pay. And for me, that is sending me a different message. If Wilmot Pay was Minister of Mines and Energy for maybe 2 years, let's just say 2 years, and he was dismissed by the president, and even though he was dismissed by the president, you still see the people who understand the mining sector, the mining engineers and the geologists. Almost every other week, different groups of people like that will gather to honor this man. You know, I think there is a sign, something, I don't know, but For me, it means that he was doing very well. For me, it means that Wilbon Payne was doing very well at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Because to see mining engineers and geologists honoring him at different occasions, it means he was doing very well because they understand the sector. These people have been here before. Some of them have been here. They've been here with all these different ministers at the Mines and Energy Ministry. Why you think they continue to honor Wilbon Payne the way they're doing it? That thing is sending a strong message. But I will leave you like that because of time, and I will call Emmanuel Gonkwe, and I'm sure he's on this line. Emmanuel Gonkwe, sometimes when I used to host you on the show, many times I used to shy away from saying CRC thing. I always call him the head of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia. But that's how his political party is the Economic Freedom Fighters, and he is the commander-in-chief. That's how they call it. Gonkwe is on this line, and I'm calling him for a particular reason. Gonkwe, good morning.
Good morning, Clarence, and good morning to fellow fighters. Good morning to fellow citizens.
You're not sounding in. You're not sounding the right way. You just want to shake up small. Don't call the phone up. Maybe you can just, twist your hand and something like that. Emmanuel, how is everything?
Well, we are doing good, Clarence. We continue to engage as Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia. You follow my page and the party page. You see the wave of engagement across the 73 political district. So we are doing well.
Okay. I'm not sure you're doing well, because that's why I'm calling you. I was trying to pull it out, but I'm missing it, but I know the content. I saw something that resembles a writing from you. I don't know what's the intent of that. You wrote and said, after the fighters were deployed, 715. I remember the number. You said 715 fighters were deployed across the country. They were promised either to be in the EPS, non-EPS, LDA, or other state security apparatus. Up to now, nobody cared. But then, after the election, they were celebrated. Now people forgetting them. What's going on? Do you, meaning the EFFL, do you feel abandoned? You supported President Boakai. You don't feel included or what?
Well, Clarence, thank you for elevating my pause. Yes, I mentioned specifically the DOR. The DOR is the security force of our party, which is called the Defender of the Revolution. And the reason why I was so hurt a few days ago to have done that post is that some of our men, and there are people who can attest to that, the Minister of Labor can attest to that, many other persons, including Peter Solo, the Honorable from the Notary, a lot of people can attest to that. The job this guy did across the country, I don't need to talk about what it did in the Southeast. I don't need to talk about what it did in Lofa. Right here in Monrovia, I remember vividly when President Boakai, then Kennedy, was going to the campaign office to name a campaign thing. He was prevented by sedition right there from Muma. It was the very same DOR that moved in to open the corridor for the president to go. We were escorting President Boakai everywhere because there were no enough state security to provide guardians for his movement. Senator Dillon and all of that can attest to this. These guys were celebrated. Today, after the elections, even to call them, appreciate them for heaven's sake. If you would not give them jobs, to just call and appreciate them. We have gone after these appreciation programs. We've gone to the president office many times. In fact, when the late Grisper was living, we did the plan. We even talk about going to Pinvey Town Hall to host them and for the president to come and appreciate them. It's not just about job. It's just about recognizing people's effort. The other guy who came from the Soviet, they had an accident. Today, that boy neck can't even turn straight, Clarence. The other guy had an accident, they almost amputated his leg. I've been fighting with that medical condition of that guy consistently. Bless God that, the SDA University did a very good, SDA Hospital did a very good surgery. He's walking now. I'm grateful to God that his legs would not be amputated. But here we are. No appreciation.
No,
it's not just about job.
In the midst of all these things, no, it is about job. If it is not about job, you will not write the way you wrote. It is not about appreciation alone. I'm not sure you're talking about one program where President Barack just kind of say, I appreciate you. You made specific reference to LDA and other things. So one minute, Gonkwe, you wrote directly about LDA and other things. So I think it is about Ja. Why are you sounding like the government has been insensitive to your party when you are in the government? When one of your officials from your party is a deputy minister at the Ministry of Labor, and you know, why are you creating that kind of impression? Did somebody promise you job?
Clarence, when you go to political alliances, there are conversations. We have, even though there is no framework document guarding the UP alliance, but there are conversations, including allowing the EFFL to nominate somebody for the ambassadorial position in South Africa.
Really?
There were conversations. Yes, there were conversations. And those conversations are never being respected. Today, we only have 2% in government. Most of the other people that we recommended for appointment, they didn't get the appointment. Even the president wrote a letter to Land Authority, for example, for one of our members to go to Land Authority saying last year. Nobody at the Land Authority has been able to honor the presidential letter.
You can be serious. Nobody. Did you say the president wrote and up to now?
The president wrote a letter recommending somebody to Land Authority. About what? The vice chair for Inter-Party. Up to now, the Land Authority has refused to honor. I brought this thing to even Colonel Pratt. They are all aware. But because people believe that, okay, there's a mindset of people. I think there's a mindset. People believe that, okay, we have to find a way to strangulate the EFFL so they can grow. But you cannot strangulate us because we don't need...
Is that why you think? Is that why you think?
That's what, at that moment, that's my conclusion. And nobody can strangulate the economic freedom fighters of Liberia.
Maybe publicly, maybe one way to prove that, you know, you stand for your fighters and you feel abandoned is for you to tell your guy at the Ministry of Labor, maybe he needs to just resign as Deputy Minister. Emmanuel Gonkwe resign from wherever he's working and all those people. Then you go back on base and say, you know what? It is because of you, the fighters, that will have to leave the government job because they don't want to get your job.
Clarence. You see, I always say to people, we have three approaches in our party.
Okay.
One is a diplomatic approach. We usually use a diplomatic approach to engage, and we are using that very effectively. The other approach is the radical approach. We go to the radical way, we find a way to address things. If you do not accept the two conditions, we deploy the compare compliant theory. The compare compliant theory will force you to act. So in this case, maybe, of course, the compare compliant theory will force you to act. So we are, we support the administration, we support President Boakat. I love him personally, I have a very good relationship with him, but institutionally, I'm not EFFL.
So,
after
the election, did they ask you to submit the name of the person you wanted to go to South Africa as Liberia's ambassador there?
We submitted all of the names they requested. We submitted all of the names, personally adding the only job. And I always say to people, I'm not supporting President Boakat because I need job. Look, the only job I ever requested, and they can attest to that, was to go to City Hall. From that day, I've never made mention of any job. Since the vice president called me at the time, he said City Hall was not possible. The president decided I should go to NTA.
You wanted to go to City Hall in this context? What do you mean? You wanted to be mayor of the city of Monrovia?
Oh, yeah. That was the only job in my history that I ever requested. Since I did not have that job, and they requested I go to NTA, the day of the appointment, the name changed. And the United Party people went to NTA. Even Mamaka Berete, as my dear sister, Mamaka Berete, she will tell you, she was very annoyed that I fight and take the job at NTA. Guess what I told her? I said to her, listen to this, Clarence, and like you really need to listen to this. I said to Mamaka Berete, my sister, thank you, but I will not fight for job because I will be sending a wrong signal that the president don't know what he's doing. So I'm not going to fight for job. Two, those who went to NTA, they are Liberians. So I cannot go and fight them. Since that decision has been made, I respect that decision. I have never requested. The other job the president ever called by himself was for me to replace A.B. Krumah. And when that decision came, the list Graceman may so rest in peace. He was instructed
You mean to replace A.B. Krumah at the LDA?
At the LDA. When that decision came, You know, I did not make that request. The president did that by himself. When it was time for me to get a letter to play politics that I cannot be trusted with the security sector, I'm radical, I can't be exposed to gun. People say all kind of derogatory things that they shouldn't have said. It's me, Gongwe, that will be distrusted with Bwakai security. Me.
Now, what does the EFFL do next?
So I have said publicly to everybody, the way in which we have been looked at and the disrespect, the consistent disrespect, the party has officially communicated to South Africans about the government process. We are communicated with our international partners about our concerns.
Why you call South Africa now? What do you mean?
Listen, we have a global. The EFFL is not just a political party.
You take instruction from Julius Malema.
Listen, I'm coming to you. The EFFL is not just a political party in Liberia. The EFFL is a global political movement. So when there are issues in your country, you inform the International Alliance.
Okay.
We have informed the International Alliance about some of the things that are happening in this coalition that we find ourselves. They are very aware. Julius Malema is coming to Liberia next year along with Bobby Wan and many other people to launch a party manifesto. We will review our relationship, with the UP Alliance.
Okay,
From now to next year, we're going to review our relationship with the UP Alliance because we are not going to tolerate these kinds of disrespect to the effort we made. It's not about joy, I continue to say, but it's about respect.
Thank you.
Respect people for who we are.
We will leave you there.
Clarence, let me conclude.
Please.
We have made a decision that we will honor our men internally. So the committee we set up has now planned the program. We're going to have 7 different stages of program to honor our men who went across the country to protect the vote. We want to say thank you to the government. We don't want anything from there again. No more appreciation. We will appreciate our people internally. Thank you.
Thank you. It means you already walking your way. EFFL political leader Emmanuel Gonkwe sounding the way he is, frustrated, disappointed, feels disrespected. You heard it from him. Yes, I saw what he posted on Facebook. Normally I would do that. I'll reach out because I thought he was right here. This is the OK Morning Rush. It's on 99.5. We'll take the show on until when we get signals from our technical people that Simeon Freeman press conference is ready. Then we leave it there. By the time the press conference is over, we come back here. We open the lines to interact with you so you tell us exactly about some of the things Mr. Simeon Freeman will say this morning. 0777700995. Gongwe does my question. I want for Gongwe to say, and so as I speak hands, we will ask our men to resign from the government. All of us sit down to our party headquarters, blah, blah, blah. Hello? Good morning. This line has developed stuff again. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence Jackson.
Yeah?
My name is Richard M. Stanford, calling from Central Monrovia.
Yeah, Rich.
Yeah, my attention has been drawn to 2 issues. One has to do with the eviction order at red light.
Mm-hmm.
You see, in the country, to be honest, when Charles always say, my big brother always say, the best way to face the country is to be truthful to people.
Mm-hmm.
You see, one group of people, we have 2 major religious groups, the Christian and Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Muslims always believe that because of the issue of holiday, that keep thinking that government is not giving them attention. So that the reason why whenever things happen, we always try to escalate it and make it to appear like they are fighting the Muslims, and which of course is not it. It's not it. I think happy saw they were saying some things, speaking up college the first time when the people want to go or carry on the eviction. They challenged the police. And no major media institution picked up that story and lasted for almost weeks. It was the second time the police went out before you saw that things happening.
Okay. Thank you. Hello? Do we have you here? The technical guys need to check this line. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning.
Are you particularly not picking family and calling for around a car or
Yeah?
Let me say thanks to you, Mr. Jackson. The other day when a meeting happened around the Nipple Street and someone spoke against it. Every time when something happened to maybe the Madingo or the Fula, and then they say that the Muslim people. Because when you check the country, majority of the VAR people, they are Muslim. But so they happen to one VAR man, they can come out and say, that they are attacking the Muslim people. We are Liberians.
So I want to commend you the money. Yesterday, Mr. Jackson, I listened to one of the former assistant ministers discussing about the budget. Like, you know, like when they found that ministry, when they left, all the professional people like you to set all the budget for them, all of them move from there. I tried to go on yesterday at least to remind that even the current deputy minister for budget, she was preparing CDC budget when CDC was in power. She was preparing early budget when early was in power. So why now she preparing President Baga with the budget and former assistant minister Bennett Kovaka and say the whole entire budget for everything they put doing is not ever.
Yeah, but when all these budgets were being prepared under the CDC, Unity Party people too were constructively. I like to say in my word, the same way people think Ben is constructively doing it. They were critiquing the budget too. So if Ben sees what he thinks are lapses in the budget, you want him to sit idle?
So it means they keep you in shackle because you did not come out to contain anything at that time because you were assisting and I see you.
I mean, when you realize that we in circle, the circle we in is not a small circle. I beg the boy. Hello. Good morning. You're wasting time. We gotta go on this line quickly. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning. Good morning.
Clarence, thank you for having me on your platform. I'm CIC Emmanuel Super Union this morning. I join you from my resident community.
Yeah.
Clarence, firstly, I want to appreciate you for your analysis on the incident that happened in the rural surrounding the Iman, other things. I think, Clarence, as a citizen, we all have to respect the rule of law. And that's why respecting the rule of law, the police should be the last force, the last opponent to the youth force. Because, Clarence, I saw the kind of mob violence that was taking place, and I think it shouldn't be happening in such a democratic society. Besides that, Clarence, we should not be taking something that happened to just put person into a religious aspect. I think that is wrong. These kind of perspectives are not okay. And someone who is from a particular tribe does something that needs to be dealt with. She should be under the rule of law. For us to try to exercise it again is wrong. And finally, Clarence, I was laughing when you were telling Mana Gonga to resign along with his other colleague, the minister.
Why you were laughing? Why were you laughing?
Because, Clarence, looking at the economy and political parties, institutional room with money and that's the only source. If someone is to resign, where do you expect him to get money from to support his institution? And where I've been following his people been complaining that he has neglected, he has neglected them. So I feel surprised when he appear on the platform this morning. I think he should appear and try to clarify the air for a lot of his
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Good morning. Good morning, I'm good. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Kyle Abraham.
Okay. Yeah. Why you call pick and choose now? Mm-hmm. Okay, Chief. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hello, good morning, brother Piso.
Good morning. Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, I'm James Blama Kamara from the Liberian Civil Rights Movement. And
Yeah.
thanks for the platform as always.
Mhm.
Let me speak directly to the issue about the Eastern, I will call it, at red light. For me, I blame the justice system that of the police for what has transpired. There are things that when law enforcement officers go to enforce the law at times, when people resist at times, as a professional law enforcement officer, sometimes those people have leaders. Even if they are policemen, they have their leaders that lead them. Sometimes you consult them, you involve them, you call them to talk to them so that they can respect the court order. Failure on their part to do so, you can be able to use the excessive force, but you can't allow other citizens to interfere when when somebody is under your jurisdiction. Then you allow other citizens to come and beat on them and tribal laws and religious laws the issue. That issue could exacerbate to another tension on that day that could be able to derail the peace and stability of our country. And the police should not do that. They needed to even arrest other people who are throwing stones because it is not their right to do so.
I think the police. Don't you think? I think the police arrested several. I think the police.
The people for the police arrested were those people that insisted the eviction that went against the evictions who were in the building.
No, I don't. Anyway, I need to check it up. Thank you, but thank you. I think the police also arrested some of the people engaged in violence that day. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to the Liberian people. Let me say thank you for the show and for the topic on the discussion.
Oh my word.
I just want to strongly disagree with your caller who just called and said when law enforcement people go and people resist, then they should go to leader. Where part of the world that thing happened? Or what kind of book he was reading, or what he thinking from? Like, because, I don't know why people thinking like that. Like, we're becoming so lawless. People don't have respect for the rule of law. People want to tribalize everything. People want to misinterpreting because of politics. And this is killing our country on a daily basis.
Why do you think it is the way it is?
It is because of the way the politicians have portrayed themselves, the way they have presented themselves in the different factions in different manner, and the misleading information they continue to give to the public.
So you think the politicians have portrayed themselves in a way that is reflective of all the things that are happening?
It's true.
Okay.
Because you will get one man who going to campaign, a campaign message does not represent what he's going to do. He go and do another thing, and what he says is different from what he's going to do. People, let me tell you, I called Julius the other day. I was telling him, we're on the bypass. There was a police lady who stopped a particular car, and the Liberian guy was driving out a Leone guy to the back. That guy, they respected that police woman. You know what the police woman said? Your own citizen, you can respect, you won't kill me. And that guy, they respected that police officer. They have to call the deputy chief of traffic. Where are we going as a nation?
Okay, my brother. Thank you so much. Let's go here and take other calls. Like I said, my technical people are on it. By the time Simeon Freeman gets ready, we'll leave studio and we'll join his press conference. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Piso. My name is Abel Blackie. Thanks for...
Oh, Mr. Blackie, I didn't cut you off. I don't know what went wrong. You can trust me. You know I will not cut you off. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Let's go back here. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Where went wrong with Abel Blackie, I hope it should not go wrong with me. And
yeah.
And it is not you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, the GSM people in the country, and I can't also blame them because there is regulator yet, and that regulator supposed to be on their back. If citizens would just take action on the GSM company, other business people sue them for those kind of disruption in conversation and not to go to the court and justify what the cause is, we will move on in this thing. But again, let's go to the issue. Now, somebody way to face the country there. Their country, we have to face it everywhere. And for me, I don't know what I will even get ready to say I want to contest in a particular district in this country. I don't know why it is in this time or when I go and come back. Because me, I will just talk because maybe the way I talk, people will turn it against me to the ballot Piso, and I'm going there, right? Yeah, because when you say the truth,
I want to really turn it against you. Don't even go there.
So I'm not going there, nephew. I'm not going there. You can be sure. I'm not going to spend my money there. And but let me say this. Imam Krayu said it yesterday, and I have said it before. There are one group of people in the country, and they are very civilized group of people. Part of them, but the civilized people in them, particularly Mandingo, right? The civilized Mandingo are not rebuking the uncivilized one. And the uncivilized one are very few. Very few that when you touch them, even when the lawless and the law comes against them, then Islam did not touch. And because the way they do it, and they want to do it that way, then they want the Islam national solidarity that can cover their lawlessness. The country is for 16 tribes, and all tribes who are not even part of the 16, including non-Liberian in this country. When people touch them, people come in solidarity with them, particularly when the public feel that they are touched wrongly. So you who are a citizen, why you always want to make yourself, and you know you put yourself in one small corner, when you do wrong, they come to they come into Islam. No, it's not Islam.
Charles, do you also think it is a result of some societal issues? Because many a times, sometimes the way we speak about each other, our characterization of each other, yeah, sometimes maybe the person can be citizen, right? But you know, the person thinks that he or she is a banner. Take for example, most of the time, these people with persons with disability, I've never heard any government what will come to power for them to say they feel included. They will always say people are discriminating against. So you think it's a societal issue?
For me, I feel why is a societal issue, but some of the societal issues are negative, and the public should fight against it. But listen now, listen, when we're small, currently, you know, yeah, and then kissing man get shopping tea. My nigga man cola tea. Man, you know that's what
yeah, people be singing a small boss song.
That's not about song. So the society know you to be something. And you know, why you like it, because man eat dog, right?
Pass up man blood for you. Give your man long tea. And how you to be saying?
Thank you. So when you say that today, people think that you insulting the whole town people. No, okay, I'm a kissing man. I do not eat dog. But when you say kissing man eat dog, I laugh with it because that's why the society and that's not play. They're not attacked. Now what people know it for. So let's take ourselves from in our clothing. When you are lawless, the law enforcement. But listen, let me say this: there are invasions that are taking place in this country, and the churches were involved and churches were demolished. Exactly, yeah.
That one, even in my community, one church was demolished. Today, the people they had to relocate. Let's talk to you right here. If Simeon Freeman ready, we'll take him. Our technicians are on it. Yeah, let's hear you. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Piso.
Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Piso, I know I don't think it's part of your talking point, but it's a very issue. So please, kindly. The issue of those taking songs on your mobile phone and you're making a emergency call, they take more than 2-3 seconds to be singing the another way. Advertising what? So, yes, you tell who responds to restrict these things. Because they request on my phone. Then you according emergency, then you got songs to sing advertising all your things that on there do and say. So,
okay.
Don't start in the store.
Thank you,
It should be done by permission. You can't get on somebody mobile phone and you pay for your own money, then you advertise your stuff.
I'm sure if that was a violation, maybe the LTA would have come in. But anyway, I'm listening to you. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Piso.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, Clarence, this is the voice of Tabu Rasta. Clarence, I joined the show from Point 4 to be specific with my geographical location, Piso, in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
But Clarence, I called President this morning, I want to ask you, Piso.
Yeah.
When was the last time you see citizens confronting police officer during President? I don't know the past regime now.
It always been, oh, brother. That one part, people are always doing that thing.
Always be in a reference. I want you reference or specific occasion that it happened that you see it.
Hey, my man, plenty time. You want to say it didn't happen at all? Is that what you're saying?
Clarence, it didn't happen. It didn't happen because
no, you're not correct. You're not correct.
Piso, let me tell you, Piso, they are one part that will bring the land like in the horse car and not treating her fair. Look, Piso, the issue of failing when it comes to the rule of law. Look, even in Europe, the football get the people playing. When Bradley get yellow card or red card, you get more to see.
What are you driving at?
I drive because Clarence, you see the issue of the president not upholding when it comes to the Constitution. The president is not abiding by the Constitution. The president is not in line with our Constitution. Can you imagine? The president still when it comes to rule of law. Any country that was look at, can you imagine when it comes to natural resources, protection of natural resources, the president say, it is because of the procedure of the president, why you see our country in a kind of a mess.
Joseph Boakai became president just less than 2 weeks ago. He said because of in the country. They got it. Hello? How you say because of Joseph Boakai the country is the way it is? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Do you have everybody here?
I thought the boss said you were resting from all these things.
Of course, but my man Jibril is not happy, so I decided to talk about it.
Let's hear you, man.
I've taken a break from politics. I told you, and I mean it.
Okay.
When I'm coming back to politics, you will be one of the
We'll put Lapa down for you to war, eh?
first individuals. And even though politics is getting interesting, I let the way.
As if you always told me when you were getting to your politics. Let's listen to you.
Now, Jibril, I'm not a spokesperson for Los Council. I know you never authorize the music. But maybe the person you calling authorize that music, so when you call the person, that music will play.
The person's ring back.
Exactly. So don't blame Los Council for that one. Yeah?
Okay, thank you. You need to call your man Ghibli inside and let him know that. Let me take a call on this other line. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Martin Lau. I'm calling from Southern Second this morning.
Mr. Lau, let's hear you, man.
Yeah, thank God you took my call this morning. So,
is it a flower building coming bring now?
No, but Clarence,
I'm wasting the money for flower. Yeah.
Tabu Rasta called this morning and making it to appear like, the police has not been attacked.
But that man know he not being honest.
Over and over. At the CDC party headquarters before, the former 102 was attacked there. The 102 of the police was attacked there. So Tabu, that just one instance. But I mean, before I leave the land, Clarence, on the issue of this lawlessness in the country and one tribal group, each time police goes to arrest, they make it appear like, we grew up in a community where, in fact, they need Mandingo. The people make it appear like it's associated only to Muslim. And we have 16 tribes in this country, parents. Is that a bad thing when you say Bele man or you say Gio man, Kisi man? But just call somebody a Manigo man. Someone feel even offended about that. I think we gotta move past that. All of us in this country.
Sometimes people speak in context. Sometimes the way we say it. Sometimes Martin, somebody can want call your name Martin. The way they will call your name, it will sound respectful, and sometimes it sounds disrespectful. That's being honest.
Yeah, I know that, Clarence. My father was reared by a Manigo man.
I know.
Yes. So, but sometimes the way some of our brothers in the Mandingo community take the issue, sometimes it can be really, somehow.
Okay, man.
And sometimes you like the other caller said, Clarence, quickly, like the other caller said, you got people from Cape Mount who are part of the Muslim community. You got other people. But each time something happens, the way our brothers take it from the other side, it's not good. We all have to live in harmony and respect the rule of law.
Thank you. Peaceful coexistence is important. Like I said, sometimes, even if you want to call somebody by the name, when you mean well, the person will know. When you mean well, the person would know. The same way. If you want to call me, I'm a Bassa man. If you want to call me a Bassa man, if it is in good fit, I will know by your words. If it is not in good fit, I will know. And that's when I get angry. So all these things got the other side of it. But peaceful coexistence is important. I always reference P.L. Lumumba when he was talking about corruption. I think it was at the Nigerian parliament. He said in Africa, corruption can only be corruption when it is not about somebody close to somebody. But once it is about somebody close to somebody from the same region or what, they don't see corruption. They see it like you are fighting a particular group of people, you are after us, and those kinds of things. So he said, even when he was head of the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, it made it difficult to fight corruption. We are still awaiting words from Simeon Freeman. Hello? Good morning. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, Clarence, this is Elton David, and I phone from District 15 in the morning.
Okay, Elton.
Clarence, one thing I can always respect about you, in the job we have with you are always speaking to people that are in power. You used to say, you see all of these things you guys are doing, one day you will lead the state.
Exactly.
So I always remember
I used to say there has always been and there will always be powerful people.
Yeah, there will always be powerful people.
A lot of them are former now. Even some of the people who doing all these things, I don't care what happened. Even when Blanca remain powerful for 6 years, 12 years, one day they will leave the stage. And the way society will treat them is dependent on the way they're treating society now.
Sure. I always remember that from you. So, Clarence, I want to speak to the government, mostly to the president. The president has to be very careful because the way in which the security, to be precise, the police are governing the state under I think it's tarnishing the image of this government. If you can remember, a few months ago, there was one of the Muslim women who they took her hijab on her hair and Gregor King and appeal to the Muslim community. Now you have to be very careful. Look at the recent case in Red Light. Gregory, as a IG of the police, forgetting to know that these are the same people you are going to. What was the strategy? I'm wondering sometimes how the former president we have better manage the police because some of these things are not happening, Clarence. One day you will leave the stage. You're even saying it. One day you say, even that okay FN that you in there.
I will leave.
One day you will.
Of course, I will leave.
Yeah, but but what you did is to be remanded.
Yeah, people will remind you. Yeah, let me tell you. There are some people when they leave government job and government position, they ain't even know how to. They can't even work in their own communities. You know why? Because some of them even living in the same community, they can't even use their influence constructively. Some of them living in the community, maybe the road from the junction to the community, I just only have 5-minute road, but it's so bad. The capacity to help is what they have. They don't do it. Some of them, they live in a community, but Sunday morning, Saturday morning to even go on a football field and play football with the young people. I heard a story of one former deputy minister in the Jacotown area. And Faso Donzo was telling me the story. I'm playing it live. They say in the Jacotown area, the guy was living with the guys. Every time, nobody would see him. By the time George we had dismissed him from a post that time, on one Saturday morning, the men were playing football. The men went with a short trouser to play with the men. So the men took their football. The men said, you're not touching the football. If you want to touch the football, buy your own. Almost 4 years, you were deputy minister in the community. You didn't come to mingle with us. You coming now, you want to play our football? They say it was embarrassing, you know. So the thing is, Liberia has never gotten short of men. Men in the context, not the gender. I'm talking about human beings. Liberia has never gotten short of men. You know, there will always be powerful people. Any president that will become president of the country, you will have people close to you. You will have people with too much influence. You will have people who anything they say to the president are the final. But listen, the danger boy is there are people who may be far from the president, but they know who the influential people to the president are. And even people in the public, if we were to open the telephone lines now, people will call and tell you who the influential people to President Bouaka are. Like in the days of former President Taylor, they will tell you McGill, they will say Toer, they will say Fina Bono, Kalasco, and all these people. People will always, and some of the people misuse their proximity. Oh yes, some of the people only use their proximity to big people to say things about other people and prevent good things from happening to other people. These people know you. Of course, some of them with proximity to the president or whoever, they use their proximity for the right reason. The people also know you. Tomorrow, you will never be in those positions. You'll become a former senator. Check around today. Check around today. You will see former senators. You see former representatives. One former representative was telling me, he said, Clarence, the moment right after the election, you won't get re-elected. Your colleagues that will get re-elected, they may not taking your number from their phone. You call them and say they will not respond to you like before because why? You are no longer colleagues again. You will become former ministers. You will become former deputy ministers. You will become former assistant managing director. Everything you will become former. No government comes to power to stay. Whether it is 6 years, whether it is 12 years, there were some people who were the most influential people to George Weah. They used to pick up phone when they call people, treat me to answer the call. Those calls were privileged calls. If some of them were to repeat those calls today, people will not even answer them. People will not even pick up them. In the worst case, when people pick up their call, they will make themselves basic, I'm in a meeting, or they will just send a message, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you back. Because the influence you had before, mind you, that person friendship with you was not just because of friendship, it was because of your influence. Whether it's a businessman or not. The person knew that to some extent when they are jammed, when they pick up their phone, they call you, you can pick up phone and something can happen. But now, they need anything from you. They need, one of my men was telling me the message, the day the president dismisses you from the position as maybe police inspector general or immigration bureau head, people can just delete your number from their phone. When you call them and they be asking, who is this? That the new man, the man who will get nominated or appointed at the man number, everybody can want to take. That's how the country is. That is the reason why when you in privileged positions, you got to be careful. Take time with the way you talk to people. You're not the only powerful person, my friends. There have been people more powerful than you. Ask. I always say that, even the job we are reading, I used to say, ask yourself how they end up. There are people that were more powerful than you. Whether it was to Totman, whether it was to Talbot, whether it was to Doe, whether it was to Taylor, whether it was to Elling, and the most recent George Weah regime. People will always be powerful. Sometimes you see people bully people on Facebook. They take 6 years to be a lifetime thing that it will never finish. No. You're going to be former. Come what may. Nothing lasts forever. All of us will be former in the places we serve. One day we'll transition, we'll go do different things. What do you want to be remembered for? Some of you, your bosses at the work site, when you come in, you want everybody to be standing. Some of you say people might not even call you by your name again. They might call you Madam Minister or Mr. Minister. When somebody made mistakes, they call your name. And that's small thing. Tomorrow you'll not be in those positions. People will always come. Of course, there are some people who serve government. Today, people still celebrating them. They are no longer in the government, but people still respect them. Okay, we're still taking a few more calls. I'm not getting signal from Simeon Freeman. When we get it, we'll let you know. We'll link him. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Brother Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, you speak with Musa Kroman.
Okay, Musa.
Yeah, my attention have been drawn to that incident to having to realize.
All right, Mr. Kroma, let's hear it.
Brother Clarence, we put actually, I don't know.
That's why I go you call.
Yeah, because one good thing I want to say in the Liberia here, the mindset of Liberian people on the Madingo people, that what can bring the problem here.
Mindset.
Because the mindset on the Liberian people, because they're not today, and you people on the radio, you're going to be trying to educate the people about the Madingo trap. In the sense that, look at Samuel Kedotan. Can you imagine some educated Liberian people? Educated Liberian people will mark the educated fool and say, I do gay citizenship to Madingo people in the country here. And the educated people that will know, they always, sometimes they can say it.
So now you just say educated and uneducated instead of using that other word.
Yeah. Okay. Uneducated. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You see, so that the mindset can be because
yeah. So when I was engaging one of the callers, I was also talking about societal issue and mindset, and I was also saying sometimes Even when you want to say Mandingo man or Basel man, the way you will say it or make the point of it, they may won't cost me. They may mean well.
I will not say that you say it because of that man said that it will make me angry. Whether we hear that something not to be make me angry. That's something that we're looking at. Let me tell you one incident. We imagine a woman living with a Mandingo man, born by Mandingo man. They living together good as a husband and wife. The woman was beating on the child.
Okay. Thank you. We can no longer. We'll take Simon Freeman very shortly, and then I'll come back. Even we who are journalists, when you are off the radio, all the people that can be calling you, oh, Piso, Clarence, the people who you can take phone, you just call, they answer you. The people who can call you, my brother, my sister, when you off the radio, that's different story. They will not call you again. They're calling you because you're on the radio. They want to be your friend. They want to be heard. When you did a radio, they're not even calling you again. You know? Okay, so I think we'll go right to, we'll join the Simon Freeman press conference right now. We're taking a break. Right after he speaks, I will come back right here. After his address, I will come back.